You are about to listen to a brand new episode of the Foreign Lady Podcast. I hope you enjoy. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and also support wherever you listen to your podcast. Now, let's get to the episode. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Foreign Lady Podcast. I'm your host Liz, and on today's episode, I'm really excited because I have a special co-host with me today. She's been on the show before, so if you've constantly listened to the show, you've heard her on two. I think she's been on two episodes before. And of course, I'm talking about my wife, Alaska. Hi.
Hi, wifey.
Hi, wifey. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I miss you. We just
Oh, me
spent
too.
I know we just saw each other like a month ago, but it's like
It's
every
never enough.
it's never enough. It's never enough because
And
I
you know,
miss you constantly.
I know we talked so much that weekend, and I still feel like there was a lot that we still didn't even get to catch up on.
Yes, yes. It's like every time we see each other and we talk, it's like we could talk for hours and
Mhm.
it just feels like, oh my God, I gotta tell her something. Oh my God, I forgot to tell her this. It's amazing.
Yes.
And it's so cool to have like friends like that, where it's like no matter just yes, we don't we check in on each other every day, but we don't live in like the same city. So it's hard to kind of like be in touch. But I think it's so great that we make an effort to do that because it's like in any relationship, right? Like you have to make an effort to you have to put an effort in. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. And it goes both ways too. We both make that effort, and sometimes more one than the other, but that's life, right? Sometimes you're more busy than I am, sometimes I'm more
Hmm.
busy. But yes, at the end of the day, we're both making that effort. And I think that's what keeps part of that friendship going.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I love that because yeah, it is effort, it is work. And I know that a lot of people don't understand that friendship is like you have to work on it too. It's like it's not one way, it's both ways, and both people
Mhm.
have to make an effort. So
Yes.
I love that. Well, that's gonna be the theme of today's episode is we're gonna talk about relationships. And we're going to talk about one of our pseudo favorite people, Jennifer Lopez, J Lo,
Yeah.
your girl J Lo, and we're going to talk about her relationships and just relationships in general. And I think it's going to be a fun episode. So let's just dive right into it.
Let's do it.
All right. So J Lo, she was doing press for her movie. I think it's called Kissed by a Spider Lady.
A
I think
kiss
that's
of the Spider Woman, I think.
okay. And on one of her press tours, which did you see the movie? I didn't see the movie. I know you're not a big movie person, but
No, I didn't. I mean, I love her, but not enough to go and watch that
it
type of movie. It's like a musical. Is that
is a
it?
musical. Yeah.
Yeah, not my thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I know musicals aren't your thing. Um, but she was on Howard Stern's show and she talked about her past relationships with her many romantic partners.
Mhm.
And she said that she felt like they couldn't love her, like they were incapable of love, and they were not able to love her in the way that she wanted to be loved. So in a way, she kind of made it seem like it was their fault. And I wanted to kind of hear your thoughts on this because I think we did an episode on it with my co-host, but I wanted
Mhm.
to kind of have like a girl's perspective as well on this because we usually are like it's men's fault, like they don't know, they're like not emotionally stable, they're emotionally unintelligent, like all of these things
Mhm.
that we sort of dump on them, right? But we don't take the time to actually examine like a woman's role because we can
Yeah.
be toxic in relationships too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I I did watch some clips of that interview, and the way that well, what I took out of that is that what she was trying to say, and again, this is just my opinion and perspective of it, is that I think what she was trying to say is that they didn't love her for her and they didn't meet her expectations.
Hmm.
I mean, she is kind of like a diva, and she has this huge social media presence and she loves that attention. And what I think the main problem with her has been is that these men are not ready for that
Hmm.
attention.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think she loves
the spotlight, and she loves like her relationship to be in the
Mm-hmm.
spotlight. And a lot of the men that I think besides like A-Rod, I think all of them were just really private people. Like Mark Anthony's really private, and Affleck's really private. She dated like what was it, her backup dancer?
Yeah.
I feel like
That
that
Casper guy, the
yeah,
young.
yeah. I feel like he just kind of like went along with it to just be with her, but then after a while he just kind of got tired of it. And
Mm-hmm.
then her first husband, the baseball player, I can't remember his name,
Oh,
but I
I
think
didn't know his name.
yeah,
Did you see his response to her comment?
I did.
I thought it was funny. Like, particularly the part where he said that
I
basically
thought
that
it
she
was
couldn't keep her
hilarious.
legs closed.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious. But yeah, I was just like, dude, like stop talking. Like don't like I'm like don't talk, right? Like I feel like he didn't have a like he shouldn't have came out and said anything, but anyway.
See, I also, okay, I don't think, and obviously we don't know these people, but I don't think it's that they're not capable of loving her. I just think that they're not capable of loving her to meet her expectations.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so too. But do you think that she's picking like the wrong men, or is
Yes.
it just okay? Okay.
I do, because I think that it takes a certain type of man to be able to meet her where she's at in her life and just, her celebrity, right? So I
Yeah.
feel like she's picking the wrong men because they're just not ready or prepared to put up with her lifestyle. Going back to your point about, most of these men that she's dated tend to be pretty private, and she's not. I mean, she's a little bit private, with super deep personal stuff, but she likes the attention as far as like being in the media. She's a workaholic, and with that work comes, doing the red carpets and having a huge presence in all of these social media platforms. So that's in the perspective that I mean that she's picking the wrong men. She's picking the men that don't like that.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. I also feel like she also talked about, well, I didn't love myself in those
Mm-hmm.
relationships, or I didn't love myself to be able to understand like or see that they didn't love me the way I wanted to be loved. And
Mm-hmm.
I want, and my thought process with that was like I don't think she's ever been single for long enough to actually know what she wants or know herself in a relationship. At least,
Yeah.
right?
I
From
think
what
you're right. She hasn't allowed herself that time to get to know herself and know what she wants and knows what she likes and know what she's looking for. It seems like she's just been jumping from relationship to relationship.
Yeah, I feel like for like the last like 20 years, she's literally been in a relationship, and she's never
Yeah.
been single longer than like a few weeks.
Yeah, and I really do think she's a romantic at heart. I really do think that she goes into them with the best intentions. I believe that she truly does fall in love with them. I don't think it's for clicks or for, people to be interested in her. Like, I don't think it's just for the public. I really do think she falls in love with these men. It's just that unfortunately it's the wrong men, and it just doesn't work out for her. So
Yeah,
I think she needs to be single for a while.
I think so too. Look, I don't doubt that she's a romantic, but I think she's one of those people that can't be alone.
Agreed. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I agree
She
with that.
she doesn't know how to be alone and be in her own like thoughts, and that's like a recipe for disaster, because then you're constantly looking for somebody to sort of fill the void,
Mhm.
and it's like nobody can fill that void. Like you have to do the work,
Mhm.
and I feel like she hasn't done it, or maybe she's in denial about it. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think you and I have talked about this before. I really think that she needs a man who's not a celebrity, someone who's okay with just following her everywhere and doing whatever she wants. Now, those men are really hard to find.
I was about to say, where's she gonna find a man like that?
I mean, it almost seemed like that dancer, not the one that she married, but the other one, the one right before Mark Anthony, Casper.
Casper?
Yeah, I really do seem like he was that type of man. I mean, he would just follow her everywhere.
We
Like,
saw how that ended. I think he got tired of that real quick.
was it him? I thought it was her that broke it off.
I think he broke it off, but I could be wrong.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure, but either way, like, I feel like she needs someone like that because that would always put her front and center. She's always going to be the center of attention. And he would just have to be okay with her her celebrity, you know, all the attention that comes with it, because it just seems like she just doesn't want to stop, right?
Yeah.
She's always wanting to do something. She's always wanting to stay relevant. And that's another thing too. I think she needs to take a break from that. Like, go away for a little bit, make people miss you, make people wonder about you. I
I
just think that
agree.
she's been so out there that people are getting tired of her.
Yeah, she's definitely like overexposed for sure.
Mhm.
Like even like with the whole like Jennifer 2.0 and the hideous documentary she made and the album, and it's like go away for a bit. I think
Yeah.
she's maybe doing that or trying to do that now. I don't know. But
Mhm.
I agree with you. I think she needs to like go away for like a good 3-4
Yeah.
years.
Yeah. And I really think that I heard that, you know, this movie, that Woman Kiss Spider, whatever movie, I heard
Yeah.
that it didn't do so great.
It
But
made
yeah,
only 6 million in the theaters.
crazy, right? People are just so over her,
Yeah.
which sucks because I really do think, I mean, yes, I'm being biased because I love her, but I think anybody can see that she is a great actress.
Is she?
Yes.
Okay. We could agree to disagree
Okay,
on that one.
disagree? Okay, okay. She's not a great singer, but I think she is a great actress.
Yeah, I mean, I like her movies. I think she's, I think it depends on the role. Let's say that. It depends
Okay.
on the movie,
Sure.
on the movie. She was
Mhm.
great in that stripper movie. I love Made in Manhattan. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I love
Yeah.
that. So I think in like certain roles, she's great, but it just has to be like the right material
Right
because
role.
some of her
Mhm.
movies, she was terrible.
We'll agree to disagree.
Okay, let's do that. All right. So do you think that like she's well, we already talked about like her being like addicted to like the spotlight, and
Mhm.
that's probably how can she like try to redeem this? Because we want happiness for our girl Jennifer, you know?
I
But
think it's like what we said. I think she needs to take a few years off of being right in our faces and a few years off of dating. I think she really does need to find that inner love, that inner peace. Because even though I did watch that documentary and that movie that she made, that's also like a musical.
mm,
The end, the whole idea was that she had to find love for herself, like love herself. And so I feel like she still needs to work on that, but also work on really trying to figure out what it is that she wants from a partner.
yeah,
And who knows, maybe lower a little bit of the standards and expectations.
I think she needs to love her, like do the work to figure out herself and love herself. I think she needs to find the right like partner and just go away and live your life and not for like the spotlight. But I think I
Mhm,
mean she's what 50 something years old. It's going to be really hard. Like that's going to be a
mhm.
lot of like training and on everything that she has to do. But I think if she's really serious about it, cuz I really think Ben did love her. Like
I
that's
think
what
so
I
too.
feel. I feel like Ben really really did love her.
And I feel like it just seems, and obviously we don't know what happened between them, but if I had to take a guess, it was just that he didn't want all the attention that she has.
He doesn't like the spotlight, and he's made it very clear that he doesn't like it. um
Mhm.
and I just think it just got way too much for him, and I personally think she let a good thing go, but
Yeah, I
you
think so
know
too. So I think that when she does find her next partner, because I feel like she will, I think she really has to be clear about what she wants and what she can tolerate.
yeah.
And maybe meet that person in the middle and try not to change them. Because I also feel like with all these
Oh, that's a good
girls trying
one.
to change, I feel like to change them in a way to meet her, to again, to meet her expectations and what she wanted. And sometimes you can't do that. You can grow together. That's a different thing, but trying to change a person, especially at that age, is kind of
It's
hard.
very hard. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very hard. Let's talk about that, right? So
Mhm.
I am not in a relationship. You are in a happy relationship, and I love you guys together. But and I think I've told you this, right? About like the communication. Like the way you guys communicate is just really, really amazing to me. And how you like work things out. And I feel like in our society today, people don't do that. I
Mhm.
cannot tell you how many even friends of mine, right? That'd be
Mhm.
like, complain, and I'm like, well, have you actually talked to this person that you're dating? And they'd be like, no, we haven't. And I'm like, why are you bitching to me? You're in a relationship with this person. This is a person you supposedly want to be with and you're sleeping with, and you guys are in the same, and you can't talk to them. You can't compromise. You can't work it out. Like, why is it that people are having such a hard time communicating? And that's something that look, I'm not going to sit here and be like, I'm like the best communicator, but I've had to learn that. And it's taken a lot of therapy for me to be able to get to that point. So I know that communicating is an art, and it's definitely not easy. But I feel like if you are in a relationship with somebody that you really, really care about and love, is it that hard?
Well, I think there's a few different things that have to align because, so me, for example, I didn't come from a family that communicates, right? I didn't have that type of relationship with my parents. They were never the type to talk to us about things. And I think it's kind of a culture thing too. I didn't get into deep conversations until my current relationship. I've always had a problem with having a good communication with whoever I was dating. And even now, it can be tough at times, but what really helps is that you want to put in the work, you're willing to put in the work, and also that other person, that your partner also helps you through the process too and pushes you, because sometimes when I want to tell him something, but I don't know how to say it, I kind of shut down. But he knows me so well that he knows something's wrong. He knows something's up, and he'll keep asking me what's wrong until he gets it out of me.
Right.
And that helps a lot too. And then also he is just so easygoing. It's easy to talk to him about stuff, and I know that I won't be judged or he won't yell at me or make me feel dumb in any kind of way. So that helps. So I think that going back to the point, what you said in regards to right now in society is just so hard for that communication. People don't just want to talk. I think part of that is not having the right partner, right? Feeling like you're going to be judged, not having that trust, feeling like they're going to criticize you, or that maybe your opinion or thoughts are not valid. I think it just goes along with all the negativity that's going on in the world right now. It's definitely not helping the communication and personal relationships.
Being able to be in a safe space will help you
open
up to communicate. And I think that's always been like my issue too. Like looking back on it, I'm like, I've never felt safe in a relationship to be like, okay, I'm going to communicate and open up. And so maybe that's part of the issue of people feel like they're going to be judged for their opinions or judged for the way they think or how they feel, and really having that like safety net to be like, okay, I'm going to be in a safe space to be able to communicate and open up. The side of it is, if your partner doesn't make you feel that way, why the hell are you in a relationship?
Exactly. Yeah, that's a whole other different issue, right? Like, why are you there? And I mean, it could also be, so if it is like in the beginning stages of a relationship, I can see how you haven't gotten to that place where you can feel more trust and loyalty. But as long as you're feeling like you're getting there, right? Like you're working towards that. Yes. If you are with someone and you don't feel comfortable at all talking to them, or being able to talk about anything and everything, then there's definitely another issue there.
Right. Okay. Let's talk about the role that emotional intelligence play in a relationship, because there are a lot of people that like I've said, I'm like, a lot of these men do not have they have the emotional intelligence of like a 5-year-old, and that's an insult on the 5-year-old. Because it's like I don't maybe it's the way, again, going back to like the society we're in, where it's like men are not did you see not, I wanted to give you an example. Have you seen this new season of Love is Blind?
I don't watch that show.
Okay, so I wanted to provide you like completely different extremes of like the emotional intelligence, right? There's this guy on there, and I don't know if you've probably seen it on like social media. It's like this black dude where he's just like every little thing, he's just like crying, and like he was crying because the girl he chose didn't want to sleep with him until they got married. He was crying about like, even telling her his story. Like he was just a crybaby.
Wow.
Like crying about everything and being dramatic and like rolling on the floor and like everything, right? And then you have the other extreme of men who who don't have emotions at all are just like immature. They act like they're children. And it's like, where are the emotionally intelligent men?
Yeah. So I think a big part of that is just that, just as a society as a whole, we've lost like core values. We've lost the sense of respect. All those things that like used to be so important in families. And when families were raising children, all the things that you teach them, all those fundamental values, I feel like we just don't have that anymore. And I think that plays a part of it in men acting this way.
Yeah, I don't want to say I've like given up on dating, because you have been like screaming at me
Yeah.
to get out there. I've been trying, but I think I've just hit a wall of just like I cannot deal with these men because
No, and I don't
they
blame
act like
you.
children.
Yeah, I don't blame you because from what I hear and see, the good men are already taken, and whatever is left is just not worth it.
Not worth it. Not worth it at all.
Yeah, and again, I don't know. I just feel like people are, I don't even know how to explain it. Like I feel like they just don't really care anymore. Like they don't want to put in the effort. That's what it
Yeah.
is. You feel like put in the effort.
And there's no consistency. I feel like men are like, I have all these options, like, oh, if she doesn't do this for me, well, someone else will. You know what I mean? So I
Yep.
feel like that's the other thing of like, there's no intention, there's no consistency. They have all of these options that they feel like they can have. And really, it's just very frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah. I always tell myself this, like, I am so lucky I'm not single. And if I wouldn't have found Brandon, I would be single. And I think I would be single for the rest of my life.
He's great. Like I've always, again, always told you that you guys are so different, but you work.
Very.
You know what I mean? Like you guys are like the true opposites attract.
That is true. That is so true.
Like you're completely different people, but I love the way you guys like work, and that's part of. And you've always said we talk about everything. Like we talk about what we need out of each other, and I literally look at you, and we've talked about this where I'm like, man, I'm taking pointers, like I'm taking notes for when I get in that because you're both also mature. You both have the intentionality is there. You care about each other. You're not going into it trying to hurt each other's feelings or trying to like prove a point or trying to change each other.
Yes. And I think all of that also comes with timing. Because I think I've told you this before, but I know for a fact that if I would have met him 10 years ago, I wasn't ready. I wasn't emotionally ready. I wasn't physically ready, mentally ready, all of it. I just wasn't. I think the timing really, really helps too. And I would say I was probably even immature 10 years ago. So I think that's another big thing too when it comes back to the whole communication thing. Just the timing, like, have you done that work on yourself? Do you know what you want? Have you learned how to properly communicate and ask for what you want or what you need?
Yeah, I think I think those are all really like super important traits to have in having that conversation and knowing that to begin with, like at the beginning of the relationship, and then constantly following that up and communicating and making sure that you're both on the same page.
It's not always perfect, I'll tell you that, because he's not always the great communicator. Like he has a really bad memory, so sometimes he thinks he told me something and he didn't. It's a whole other different issue. But again, it takes work, right? And then having that patience, which is so hard to do.
Yeah, my word that I'm trying to work on is my patience, because these men be testing us. They be testing us.
But then also too, like for example, because I only have myself, to use as an example.
Yeah.
When it's making me really impatient that maybe he's not understanding what I'm saying or I'm not understanding what he's saying, at the end of the day, I got to remember, like, I know he's not doing it intentionally to hurt me or not.
Right.
I know he's not doing it for me to feel a certain type of negative way. Like that's just who he is.
Right.
So I have to remind myself about that. Like it's not nothing's being done with bad intentions. So that helps. That helps me. Like, okay, maybe I need to find a different way to say this. I need to find a different way to get him to say it. And that helps.
That's awesome. All right, so let's move on to our favorite show.
Yay.
All right, so if you've listened to other episodes of ours, you know that me and my wife here, we love Friends, okay? Like that is
Mhm.
our show. And
Yep.
so I was scrolling on YouTube as one does, and I found this clip of Ross. And it was I can't remember what season it was, but it was the season where he said Rachel's name at the altar when he was marrying
Mhm.
Emily, and he was trying to work it out with Emily, and she said, well, the only way that I will get back in or get back into this relationship and make this marriage work is if you stop talking to Rachel. So that got me thinking. I was like, okay, have you ever been in a situation where your partner doesn't like one of your friends, and did you have to cut them off, or like what did you do? And like if that's a scenario, what does one do?
Yeah. So I think it's a case by case basis. So yes, I have been in that situation. My relationship prior to my current one, long
Mm-hmm.
story short, it did end up being in that scenario where the person that I was dating at that time didn't want to be around someone who was
Mm-hmm.
around me
Mm.
constantly. And that didn't work out. That's one of the reasons why him and I didn't work out, because I really had to examine that situation and say, well, am I willing to cut this person off out of my life when I know that they have to be there because they were part of the family.
Got it.
But also, I just want to throw it out there too that that wasn't like just the main issue. There were other issues as well, separate issues than that. So I feel like we didn't have that solid foundation for me to want to even put the work in.
Got it.
So that's as close as I've gotten to that situation. But going back to the Ross and Rachel one, right? Do we want to talk about what we think about that? Yeah, about that specific situation. So, again, my opinion is case by case. In that situation, because Ross did say Rachel's name at the wedding, I think that Emily was 100% in her right to put that as one of the things for them to get back together. I do think so. If it would have been any other situation, I don't think she would have had the right to do that, because Rachel and Ross have known each other for a lot of years. But I think because of that, I mean, at her wedding, right?
Yeah.
However, what I think would have made it maybe a little bit easier, a little bit more understanding, is that maybe what she could have done is said, hey, while we work on our relationship, I don't want you to be friends with her. But once we have reached a place where we can trust each other again, then we can, talk about
Talk about it.
her coming back in your life again and our lives, right? I think that would have maybe made it a little bit more acceptable, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm trying to think if I've ever been in that situation. I don't think so, but I think it was the opposite. I think I was
Mhm.
uncomfortable with my partner's friend, and I I think I gave that ultimatum, if I can
Mhm.
remember correctly. But I have very good reason to do that.
Yeah, I'm sure you
Um,
did.
yeah, because like, look, if you're, I guess that also brings up the question of should you be friends with your ex, which I think that's like a whole nut, like that's like a separate, a case by case thing, I guess.
It's always no for
And
me.
she's like, no,
Unless there's kids involved, then they're gonna be in your life regardless. That doesn't mean you have to be like super friendly. I mean, other than that, it's always a no for me.
yeah. But yeah, so I've had to give that ultimatum of like, yeah, if we're gonna be in this relationship, your relationship with this particular person makes me uncomfortable, and you're
Mhm.
gonna have to like not hang out with them. But I
Yeah.
think if that option was left, if it was reversed and it was like my partner had a problem with like one of my friends, and it's a friend that I've been close to for years, like like if it's a really good friend, I don't know if I would cut them off,
No,
you
and I
know?
think, and I would, well, first I would need to really analyze, well, what is your reasoning? Do you just don't want me to be around her because you don't like her attitude, because she's
Right.
too loud? Is it the way that she dresses? Like, what is it? Like, what is the actual reason? I think that would be a major thing that plays into it, right? Because if you don't, say, for example, if Brandon said, I don't want you to hang out with Liz because she's too loud. Well, that's a dumb reason.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, if you were a bad influence on me, right? If you said,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, wifey, let's go to the club and let's talk to men," and then Brandon said, "I don't want you to hang out with her for that reason," then I would understand that, right?
Right.
Because why are you putting me in that situation?
Right.
Yeah, I think, and also when it comes to like family members, right? If your partner says, "Well, I don't like your mom, so I don't want to go to your mom's house, and I don't want you to go either." Well, I'm sorry, but that's my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Now you don't have to go with me. That's fine, but you can't prevent me or stop me from going.
Yeah, I think family's tricky.
Very.
Family is very tricky, and you know, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're not gonna get into it, but you know.
Yep, I know.
And I walk a very fine line with that, where it's like I rather remove myself from that situation and let y'all be. You know, I think family is a little different. Of like, if I'm the one that has the issue, then I'm gonna remove myself from that situation. If my
Mm-hmm.
partner has the issue, at that point we're gonna be like, okay, then you know, if I'm going to whoever you have the issue with's place or we're hanging out, you have the option not to come with me because
Yeah.
I can't get. It's not like I can get rid of them and they're my family. I feel
Right.
like that's tricky. With friends, like you said, it depends on the reason why you don't like them, right? If
Mm-hmm.
it's like this person is a bad influence on me or you, then I'm willing to have a conversation and talk about it and see your reasoning. But if it's just because, well, I don't like the way they look, or I don't like because they chew loud, and it's like not a good enough reason.
Yeah. Well, then
For
also, and then also you have to, and again, these are all like discussions, right, that happen or should be happening too when someone is in that situation. But also, like, how much do you really dislike this person? And again, for what reason? Can you still just be social? You don't have to be friendly with that person, but for me, right? Like, do it for me. Can you still come to this family gathering? You don't have to go and talk to them, but can you be in the same room with them, and keep the peace?
right.
But again, all of that too comes with like, well, what's the reason behind you not liking this person or whatever? But then bringing it back full circle, like, I really do think Emily had a really good reason.
Yeah. No, yeah. If you're saying your ex's name at my wedding on the altar, yeah,
Yeah.
you're lucky I didn't dump you right then and there. That was wild. I saw that, I was like, oh, this, we gotta unpack that a little bit. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Let's see. Okay, so we're just gonna play a little game of this or that.
Okay.
I love this game.
What are the rules?
Okay, so it's just either I'm gonna give you like two things, like either you like this or you're that person. Like, are
Okay.
you a night person or a morning person?
Is there a limit on like my answer? Like how many words we need to answer? Is it like rapid fire? Or
No, you
I
could
need to
just.
give an explanation. You know me, I'm very technical.
I know you are. No, we
I
could
need
just. We
all
could
the
just
rules, the
explain.
guidelines.
No rules. Just give me the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay, got it.
All right, you ready?
Ready.
All right. Are you a brush your teeth before breakfast or after breakfast person?
I am a brush my teeth after coffee because coffee is the first thing that I drink in the morning. Like breakfast is later on. I don't eat breakfast when I first wake up. So I have to brush my teeth after my coffee because I don't want that mint flavor in my mouth when I drink my coffee.
Got it. I have noticed that for years and years about you.
Yeah.
I cannot do that. Like,
You have to
before
brush it first thing in
I
the morning.
have to brush my teeth first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
I have to. Like, because I feel like I will taste the bad breath in the food or the drink, and it sort of like defeats the purpose. We're foodies. I gotta be able to taste my food. Yeah. So I'm definitely a brush your teeth before anything in the
Before
morning.
anything.
Yeah. All right. Are you a milk before cereal or after cereal?
Milk before cereal. That's crazy.
Some people do. You'll be surprised. Some people do.
Okay, that's crazy, but okay. To each their own. No, I really eat cereal, but when I do eat cereal, it's always the cereal first and then the milk because I need to get that ratio perfect.
Okay. Yeah. I am the same. I pour my cereal after. But yeah, there are a lot of people that pour their milk before.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. But I definitely pour my milk after the cereal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One's a controversial one. Here we go.
Okay.
Do you wash your chicken or do you not wash it and just cook it and season it straight from the packet?
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, this is a controversial one. And your listeners are probably going to be mad. But
Wow,
I do not wash my chicken. I know.
it's a blasphemy.
I know. You know, my mom was just recently here and she does wash her chicken and she actually cleans the chicken with lemon. And she asked me if I do the same. And I said I didn't. And I think she wanted to disown me at that moment.
I love your mom. She's
But
awesome.
hey, I've never gotten sick from eating unwashed chicken. So knock on wood.
That is wild.
I
Yes,
know.
I think you're supposed to wash your chicken, wifey. I'm just saying. I mean, I haven't gotten sick either, so you've definitely cooked for me, and I have noticed.
It's gonna kind of clean itself because you know when you boil it or bake it or put it in the crock
So,
pot, you know the heat is gonna kill whatever bacteria it has. So we're good.
okay, yeah, you might get some comments on this.
I know, I know.
Okay, are you use a washcloth to shower, or you just use soap and that's it?
There's more options. I use the sponge or loofah.
Okay, okay, so you do
Yeah.
use some kind of like a sponge or loofah.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely, because that's the only way to keep my skin smooth and get rid
okay,
of razor bumps or, you know. But yes,
agreed.
I can do just soap and I can do a washcloth either because I don't think the washcloth really like cleanses and exfoliates my skin.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But yes, definitely a loofah or one of those sponges, you know, different color ones. I switch off.
Yeah, I'm the same one with you. I do use washcloth sometimes, but I'm definitely more of like a sponge loofah type person. But
Mhm.
yeah, there's some people who don't use any of that and are just straight soap in their hands, which
I can't imagine that their skin is smooth. There's no way if they're using something to, you know, rub off that
the dead skin.
dead skin.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. That's why some people be funky, but we're
Mhm.
not gonna get into that.
No.
Okay, this one is also controversial because when I heard this one, I was like, what? Okay. Do you wash your legs in the shower or do you just let the soap run down your body and that's it?
So I think I know where this is coming from. I know because Chelsea Handler, she's like one of my favorite comedians, and she talked about this. I don't know if that's who you heard. So I only exfoliate, as in like use a sponge or the loofah from my knee down, only when I'm gonna shave, and I do it before shaving because I read that that kind of helps like open up the pores. But if I'm not gonna shave, I just let the water and soap go down my leg.
Okay, interesting.
There's another time where I do actually exfoliate or you know use a sponge down there too is if like I was in the pool or the beach. And
Got
yes,
it.
one or the
Okay.
other. Other than that, no, just the water and the soap.
Okay. Uh,
Yeah.
I wash my legs
Okay.
every day.
Uh,
Every day. I start, in fact, I start from like the legs up. So I wash my legs and then I work my way up.
so you start from the bottom up,
Yeah, I start
like
from the bottom
not
up.
from the
Yep.
top down. Okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
it's just, you know, I'm already doing too much in the shower. I don't like long showers. I mean, I'm clean. I hardly ever leave the house, so there's nothing happening
Yeah.
to my ankle. There's nothing happening. So
She's like, there's nothing happening. My ankles are fine.
yeah.
Oh man. I yeah, that's how I've always showered.
See, that's how we should all do it, really.
Yeah,
Probably. Experts would probably agree with you, I'm
yeah.
assuming. But I mean,
Because I figure like,
'cause
like you use your legs all day and like they get
doing what?
sweaty. I don't know, like if you're walking around the house or you walk outside to go, I don't know.
I mean, unless you're riding like a spin bike, then I get it because your sweat is dripping down. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
The
I
water
guess
and
that
soap
was
for
just my
me
logic.
is the trick.
Yeah. All right, last one.
Okay.
Okay. Are you a bra hook in the front and then twist, or are you one of those expert women that just hooks it from the back?
I have to do it from the front.
Okay.
Yeah. And to make that even better, if I can find bras that I like where the hook is in the front, that's even better.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I am the same way, but I've met people who can just power through it from the back.
That is amazing. Like that
Yeah,
is definitely some magic trick.
that is some magic trick. I actually tried to do it one day and it was not working well at all. I was like, nope, I don't know how these women be doing it, but
Yeah, I
no.
don't know. I think I only tried one time years and years ago, and I gave up after one try.
Yeah, it's definitely a magician thing that you got to do. But
Yes.
all right, that's it. That's all the questions I had.
It's all.
That's all.
That was fun.
Yeah, it's always fun. Like I feel like we can talk forever.
I know. The only thing that we were missing was eating while we were talking.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's tell our story real quick. So we'll tell you that we just saw each other. And when I tell you that okay, this is our story, right? We ate so much that weekend, it was ridiculous. The last day that I was there, it was a Sunday, right? Right, wifey?
Yes.
It was a Sunday. So mind you, we had already eaten all of this food. The 3 days I was already there, and the last day we were like, okay, we're just gonna have a light little dinner. Something
light.
very light.
On light.
Emphasis on lights. Very demure dinner. We're gonna have sushi, very light on our bellies and everything. And tell me why we walk into the sushi restaurant and it was an all-you-can-eat sushi buffet. All-you-can-eat sushi.
And of course we couldn't say no. I mean, shoot, price was right. Like
when I tell you, like I had to unbutton my pants, y'all. like the
waitress was laughing at you. She saw you.
We ate so much that we made ourselves sick. I could barely get up the next morning to catch my flight. Like we both were like,
I think we both texted each other the next day saying that we didn't even eat anything that day because we were still recovering from.
Yes, like I didn't eat for like 2 days because I was still so full from. My God, it was crazy. This is the shenanigans that we both get into when we are together, and I love it.
Anytime we're gonna see each other, we like have to prepare for like at least a week before with only eating salads and drinking water because we know that once we see each other, it's gonna be an eating fest.
Yes, like we're training for like a food marathon or something. But I love it.
I do too.
Thanks for coming on the show and being my co-host.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Any time. I love you, and yeah, it's always great to have you on, and hopefully you can come on more often. Thanks everyone for joining us on this episode. Please make sure you catch us on all our social medias at the Foreign Lady Pod, and you can listen to all of the episodes, including this one, on all of the platforms wherever you get your podcasts. And we are also available on YouTube, so make sure you check us out there at the Foreign Lady Podcast. So thanks everyone, and enjoy the rest of your whatever week, day, and season you're in. Bye everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Foreign Lady.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to rate, like, and subscribe wherever you listen to the podcast.
Follow us on social media at The Foreign Lady Podcast on Facebook and Instagram.
Email us at theforeignladypodcast@gmail.com. See you next time.